Sorry guys, nobody's here. We were planning on doing a video today, but nobody's here. Goodbye. No. So, come here, Daddy.
Yep, I had to maneuver so I don't fall down here. Welcome to Hunger for Horror. We promised another video, so we got one to show you now. So
to start it off, getting right into it.
We got
Bad
a lot
Boy, Lover Boy.
Yep, this one is if you could imagine Napoleon Dynamite almost as a homicidal killer. This movie is just whacked out crazy. I just found this extremely fun. It's just nuts. So yeah, strongly recommend. Good for a laugh. Creepy. It's short, not a major time commitment. That's from Severin.
Oh wait,
Severin.
can you guys see that? Okay. You guys can see the movie. I'm sorry, but what I'm not sorry about is the jump scares. Boom! Psychomania.
Yeah, basically The Living Dead on motorcycles is the Arrow edition. Beautiful. They did a great job getting it restored. I remember I had this on a Good Times Home Video with Alice, Sweet Alice, once upon a time. So it's got 2 discs. It's got a nice booklet in it. There's the other disc. And it's got reversible cover art as well. So anyway, again, Psychomania from Arrow. Great. Fantastic job. Of course, Arrow always does a fantastic job, but pretty much goes without saying.
Yeah, but scarecrows, which are Halloween, but it's not even Halloween, it's March.
Well, now, year-round people keep scarecrows in their cornfields and stuff to scare the crows away.
Goodbye.
No, we haven't talked about it. This is one of my favorite Scarecrow movies, very creepy, along with that TV movie that I've covered called Dark Night of the Scarecrow. This is I'd probably like this one as much. This thing's just crazy. And it's very creepy. It's very well done. This is one of my favorite horror comedy hybrids, Street Trash. Yes, it's even better than you'd imagine. It took me years to see this, and I finally got it. And it's basically about this guy finds some booze that was boarded up. I guess they didn't want people to get to him. Or well, he finds it, starts selling it for $1 a bottle, and of course, you know, the winos come in and start drinking it, and it basically melts them into this blue goo or something. This thing's crazy. It's just incredibly fun. I couldn't believe how much fun this movie was. So Street Trash, that's from Synapse Films. What you got there, son?
I got a lizard in a woman's skin.
And that's a Giallo. You know what a Giallo is?
Nope.
It's basically an Italian murder mystery movie that is very violent. Giallo, I think in Italian means yellow, because all the novels that a lot of these stories are based off of had yellow covers. The books did. So anyway, this is a Dario Argento, early one. This is the who put this one? This is the Mondo Macabro edition. There's another edition out now that I think has more extras and stuff, but this one was quite a bit cheaper at the time, and I figured I'd be happy with this, and I was. It was just fine. But, you know, whatever you want on that one, you got a couple of different editions of that are available currently, I believe. Go ahead.
Let's go on this 4th one. So,
okay.
Oh, is this? No, this is the 6th movie, but we have a whole bunch to go. Like, if you guys can
you'll see them all eventually, trust me.
Yeah, so
if we keep going.
This is
Good.
Frankenhooker.
Yep. Guy takes different body parts of women, and it's pretty much what you imagine. Frankenhooker. Definitely a lot of goofy fun. Has a lot of humor to it. You know, it's got horror elements because, you know, it's basically rebuilding a woman out of all different women's body parts. So it's not overly sexual, so if you're worried about a huge copious amounts of nudity, there is some obviously, but there's not a ton of it. So it is very fun. So Frankenhooker, you know, Basket Case, Brain Damage. He does great movies. I love his movies. I can't say enough good things about stuff he makes.
Is this movie more great? Is Above So Below?
As Above So Below for me is one of my favorite found footage films. They basically go into the catacombs of Paris and go underneath, and And they actually have real bones in the footage in this of real skeletons that were left down there. So if you can read up on that, you know, probably Wikipedia or Google or something. But this is a fun found footage movie. I really like this one. A lot of people don't, not sure why, because I saw this at the theater and absolutely loved it. And this is very inexpensive last time I checked. So you can probably get this for $10 or less on Blu-ray. And it looks good, of course, because it's a major studio release. Scream Queen. Jamie Lee Curtis. I believe this this version of it is from Shout Factory. I believe this is out of print now, and I think they re-released it for a limited edition Twilight or gosh, I can't remember, somebody. But anyway, I think this is an out of print version now. But there's the original cover art. That's what I like. I remember seeing that in the newspaper ads for it when I was a kid. So a lot of people aren't crazy about this. It also has David Copperfield. Actually, I just think this movie is an awful lot of fun, and I think it's one people forget about. I don't know why a lot of people don't like it, but Terror Train, I would strongly recommend it. What you got next?
And also, if you want to see a creepy cover, Cat in the Brain.
Yep, Cat in the Brain is a Lucio Fulci movie. Probably his last really good movie before he died. I think most people would agree with that. From Grindhouse releasing. So, of course, you know, it can be a little pricey, but it's kind of like, you know, the Arrow and the Shout Factory. They tend to be a little pricey, but they release good films, and they definitely loaded this thing up with extras. It's a, you know, limited edition. I think it's also got a soundtrack with it, a CD. You pull it out. I think there's all the discs are in here. Yeah, like here's the CD. So if you like soundtrack music, that's really cool. So, you know, this is, as far as I'm concerned, probably as good as anything Fulci ever done. And, of course, it stars Fulci, what makes it even more fun. Just the fact that he's in it. And it's got, besides that, it's got, you know, a nice fat booklet. And it's got 2 Blu Rays there, I believe. One's for special features, one's for the film. Anyway, it's a great release. And if you're a Fulci fan, I would say it's as much of a must-have as any of his films. So I would definitely go ahead and go for it. Cat in the Brain. Alright, Wyatt, carry on.
So, this time I actually got 4 movies, so I'm just going to rest it on it. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, we'll get through it quickly. So, Zeter, not much to say about that. And I was just joking. I'm just not going to announce the title. We have to explain what this is about.
And there is Wyatt's dramatic debut.
Are you serious? I'm not dramatic. I'm the horror master, but I don't watch horror movies.
Alright, so here we go. Well, we watch horror movies. Well, he doesn't, but I do. And you all do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. Zeter, a great Code Red release with the slipcover and the original title, Revenge of the Dead. This movie's kind of a slow burn, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Get it from Ronin Flicks or Screen Archives Entertainment, I believe, are the 2 places to get this. You might even be able to get this from Dark Force Entertainment, not sure, but I know Ronin Flicks has got it, so it's a good film. Definitely something worth checking out. Oh, by the way, the lead actor I couldn't hardly recognize because I'm so used to seeing him with a mustache, and he was the fella in Deep Red, and gosh, what else was he in? Anyway, he's in so many things. Gosh, I can't. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank now. Deep Red's the big one I always remember him from, but he's been in a lot of things. You'll recognize him. Just try to imagine him with a mustache. Careful.
Okay.
Just calm down.
So if you kids who are like me, that watch Hotel Transylvania, this is probably the perfect one for you. It's called Dracula, and in a Hotel Transylvania movie, there was Dracula.
And despite the R rating, it's really not too awful bad, really. It's actually a pretty tame R. It would probably get a PG-13 today, in my opinion. Frank Langella's Dracula. And don't be confused. I mean, you might be a little thrown off when you watch this. It looks like the color is off on your Blu-ray. It's actually meant to look kind of in black and white. It's just barely colored. It's a very strange look to it, to give it kind of an old feel. But it's a really good film, and I think it's definitely worth checking out.
And if you guys like snakes,
it's not a snake. Piranha's a fish.
Oh.
Look at the fish in the background. See the fish with the teeth?
Oh my god. Okay.
Piranha double D. Double the action, double the terror, double the D's. Well, it's cheesy. It's not. It's a follow-up to the reboot. It's not as good. It's got David Koechner, and it's got Ving Rhames comes back for a bit. So, you know, Gary Busey's in it for a minute. Christopher Lloyd reprises his role. Not a fantastic follow-up, but I mean, it's fun if you don't try to judge it by the reboot that came before it, because that movie is far superior. But if you just turn your brain off and want some goofy fun, this is still entertaining. So just don't go in with false expectations and you'll be fine. What you got next?
I Spit on Your Grave, which we may have already showed. I don't know.
It's not I Spit on Your Grave, it's I Spit on Your Grave 3. Vengeance is Mine. They actually take the Spit on Your Grave series and kind of take it and kind of a new twist on it at the end. See?
Not again.
Yep, I told you. Be careful. Okay, so anyway, yeah, Spit on Your Grave 3, it's a great addition. Here, let me take care of that one.
And I will take care of the movies that fell down.
Yeah, that would be good. Don't trip on the camera.
Actually, luckily, only 4 movies fell down. So yeah, I just stepped on a movie. I'm so sorry, Daddy.
This one? Is this the one you stepped on? Or is that the one you stepped on?
I don't know which one.
Well, don't step on them, please.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Next up, we got Jurassic World, the first in the new trilogy, the newer trilogy. Of course, it's fantastic. This is the limited edition version of Bride of Reanimator. This one, the box came in a little bent, a little dinged up, but it's Arrow, it's a really beautiful edition, or a nice thick booklet. And I think it's got like 3 different versions of the film. It's pretty crazy. Here, Wyatt, back up for a sec. I want to show them all the discs inside. See, so that's what it looks like when you open it up, like that. And then the packaging is very cool. There's that, and then there's that, and then there's that. And what else we got inside here? You know, it's Arrow. They always load it up with extras. Let's make a note of it. Let's see. It's talking about the bonus features. A little card, and then here's the original art from the front of the VHS box, and it's got a nice little booklet talking about, you know, aspects of the film. So again, Arrow, you know, always does a fantastic job. Yeah, they're a little pricey, but boy, what a fantastic job they do. So it's kind of hard to be too mad at them, because it's definitely a beautiful edition, and this is the limited edition. I'm trying to remember what makes it limited, what the extra is on it. Let's see, it's got the unrated version, and it's got the disc 3. Okay, it's got the R-rated version. That's the R-rated version. I think is the limited edition exclusive. And there's a thing on here called Reanimator, Dawn of the Reanimator. I think it's like a documentary. So, but the regular edition that's out now from Arrow is still worth your time. It's a great edition, both of them. So definitely check it out. Okay, go ahead, Wyatt.
I got a really brutal one coming up next. I don't even know if I want to do a jump scare on this one. This one is just too scary. No, nothing could be too scary. Sleepaway camp, bloody guy on a bench. You won't be coming home.
Sounds like a horror movie, doesn't it?
Of course, this is Hunger for Horror.
That's right. Sleepaway Camp with one of the best shock endings of any movie. I won't give it away. Most of you probably already seen this by now, so that's not the original artwork. The original artwork is actually looks like this. I'll go ahead and pull this one out because I really like this artwork. So there it is. It's got 2 discs. It's got 1 Blu-ray and 1 DVD. It's a Shout Factory release, so this one isn't as pricey as some of their other releases, and it's definitely a great film, and it is the uncut version. The Anchor Bay version does have a few seconds missing from it, so this is the complete version, if those of y'all that were wondering about that. So definitely Sleepaway Camp is a classic that's definitely worth revisiting and checking out. If you've never seen it, I think that you will be very pleased with that particular film. What?
Wow.
What?
You're pushing.
I'm trying to make room, sweetie.
Okay,
next, go.
Okay, fine. This is two movies? This looks like 3.
No, it's 2. That's just a picture, and that's one movie. That's the second movie.
Oh, okay.
So tell them about it.
It's called When a Stranger Calls.
When a Stranger Calls.
To me, it's actually July 7th, my birthday. No, I actually mentioned it's March, so you guys probably are just not going to view this for just... Unless... Are we babbling?
Are we doing what?
A live stream.
A live stream? No, this isn't live. We're recording it. We're going to upload it today.
Okay.
So anyway, When a Stranger Calls, happy birthday to me. I think they had to make some changes to some of the music for soundtrack reasons. So some people don't prefer this particular edition, but to me it didn't take anything away from it. When a Stranger Calls, one of the best, you know, scare the babysitter, you know, creepy phone call movies out there. I really enjoy it. This is a Mill Creek release. I'm not sure if this is still available. Mill Creek releases go in and out of print all the time, but this is definitely a double feature worth having, and I believe that this particular one has the movies on... Nope, it's all on one disc. So, there you go. I thought maybe there were two separate discs. But still, you know, Mill Creek stuff's a bargain, so, you know, definitely worth picking up if you can find it still. Next.
Okay, so... what was I gonna say? Never mind. Jack's back. Which his eyes look creepy. Don't go near Jack.
You think that's a movie about a guy's back?
Yes.
It's not.
I'll just show you my back.
It's not. Jack. Talking about Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper's back. It's James Spader. One of his, not as one of his earliest films, but earlier, probably before people really came to know who he was. I knew who he was since Tough Turf, which was one of my favorite of his early films. The New Kids, Endless Love. He played Brooke Shields' brother. So Jack's back is from Shout Factory. It's a lot of fun. James Spader, excellent performance as always. So definitely check it out.
So.
Oh, that's a beautiful addition.
So a death metal song, which has a name.
There is a death metal song by Death called "Torn to Pieces" that has nothing to do with
this.
But this
is just called Pieces.
Yep, and this is this movie is one of those kind of bad, but it's really good at the same time. It's you know, it's a chainsaw nut. It's kind of a mystery, and this particular edition came with beautiful soundtrack disc, and this is from Grindhouse releasing. It says warning. What's it say? Due to its shocking and violent subject matter, no one under 17 should view this film. Well, it's definitely worse than an R. It is the unrated, uncut version. It's got 2 Blu Rays and a CD, packed with extras, all kinds of good stuff. So I would say Pieces is a wonderful, wonderful, and that's it couldn't have asked for a better edition. Plus, it got a 4K scan. A movie, you know, that's so little known gets such a beautiful treatment. Grindhouse just goes out of their way to take what few releases they have. They spend a lot of time on, put a lot of work into them. This movie will probably never get this treatment again. It's such a beautiful addition. So even if you've never seen it, it's worth picking up.
So, guys, everything in the world is a piece of just one piece of the world. And this, what is this? This is the piece of glory. It's actually a Christmas one.
It's a Christmas decoration.
Well, yeah. Just thought it'd be a fun gag, so yes, let's get back to the video. Daddy, you use it.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and carry on. The Outing and The Godsend, a Shout Factory double feature. As you know, Shout Factory, these double features tend to be less expensive, as I mentioned before, than their single releases because they don't have all the special features. But The Godsend was one of my favorite creepy kid movies of all time. I had the old Vestron VHS video, and The Outing is pretty fun too, and that goes under another title that I can't remember at the moment, so look it up on IMDb if you want to know what their alternate title is, because I don't remember. But anyway, both these movies are fun. The Godsend's my personal favorite. Some people find it a little slow and boring, but you know, some horror movies, you know, are just that way. They try to, you know, they're slow burn, means they're, no, it doesn't mean they're bad. Just, or, you know, I mean, there are movies that are absolutely boring that I can't stand to finish, but neither one of those movies are even approach that as far as I'm concerned. There's this movie here called Moontrap, Bruce Campbell. Low budget movie, you know, trapped in outer space kind of thing. Pretty fun if you like your science fiction horror movies. This one is actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. This one is from Olive Films. So, Bruce Campbell fans, if you haven't seen Moontrap, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Code Red, After the Fall of New York. This is the new commissioned artwork, which I think is pretty fun. I like it quite a bit. So there's that. And again, a Code Red release, so you probably have to go to Ronin Flicks or Dark Force Entertainment or Screen Archives Entertainment to get this. And then here's the original cover art in there. So, what you would have seen on the front of the VHS box once upon a time. So, just a fun action movie, you know. It is what it is. Cheesy and kind of not so great acting here and there, you know, but I enjoyed it. Waited a long time for this. This was out of print for so long, and the DVD really commanded, or people asked for quite a price for it. So I was really relieved when this came out, so I could finally see it without having to pay a bunch. Linda Blair and Julie Strain, and Julie Strain, I believe, just died recently. Either that or she was really sick. So anyway, I hope she got better, but it wasn't sounding good. But I can't show you the disc. But anyway, it's definitely got a lot of nudity. It's no kind of more of an erotic film with slight horror elements versus the other way around. So probably not one you want to watch with the kids, but you know, adults, go for it. It's kind of fun. You know, the performances are kind of but it does what it's supposed to, and it does it well enough, as far as I'm concerned. So I enjoyed it, and it was. I'm glad I finally got to see it, and it didn't disappoint.
So this is Scalps. No, I know what it actually says. It's Scalps.
Scalps. This is a release from Retro Media and limited edition of 2,000 copies. Some of the footage, you know, was lost, so they had to use VHS source. It's pretty obvious where the VHS comes in, but you can see it. It's not like you can't see what's going on, so I'm glad that they went ahead and restored it to the full version as best as they could. So that was kind of surprising. It was better than I thought it would be. I enjoyed it.
I don't know why I'm putting this.
This is another one of those Shout Factory double features, Food of the Gods, H.G. Wells, and of course the classic Frogs, which I showed you in the DVD portion because I had the DVD. It's got Sam Elliott and Ray Milland, so a great double feature. The only thing I will say is about Food of the Gods, looks like they really killed some live rats, and it looks like they shot with a BB gun or something. So I thought, you know, it was a different time. You know, people didn't, you know, pay attention to the welfare of animals. I guess America finally got their conscience. You know, the Italian films were really bad about that, much worse so than the American films. I'm pretty sure Food of the Gods is an American film, but it's a good, you know, it does a good job telling the story. But you know, I don't like seeing little animals get killed, even if they're rats.
So, this one, I'm not gonna announce the title right yet, because, as you can guys see on the movie cover, it says VE or Die. I would assume that says Live or Die, but Death Row Game Show is actually the title, not Live or Die, except that would be a good horror movie title. Is that even a horror movie title?
Actually, this is more of a comedy with slight horror elements because it deals with death, so it's kind of a dark humor kind of thing. The Death Row Game Show is a release that I hadn't seen until Vinegar Syndrome decided to put it out. You can always tell Vinegar Syndrome by the girl standing there. It's because they release a lot of adult films too, along with their underground and their horror films. And so anyway, there's Vinegar Syndrome down in the corner, if you can see that. But anyway, Death Row Game Show is an awful lot of fun. It's just goofy and it's funny, and it's definitely not gory. It's really more of a comedy, but I mean, if you want a comedy, by all means, it is pretty hysterical.
So,
that's an anthology. You know what an anthology is?
If any of you guys have a lot of nightmares, well, this would probably give you the worst nightmare of your life. Nightmares is this year's sleeper.
Actually, not that bad. It was actually started to be shot as a made-for-TV horror anthology.
And great, another horror movie.
Well, yeah. So Nightmares. Shout Factory finally put it out years after the Anchor Bay release went out of print. Shout Factory did a good job. This is Blu-ray only, so if you want it on DVD, you're probably still going to pay an arm and a leg for it if you want it on DVD. But there's the Blu-ray, so. Definitely worth having, and fun movie. It's got Emilio Estevez. Not the best anthology I've ever seen. I think that's still Creep Show.
So,
but it's really good.
So, guys, the horror movie that fell off, I don't want it to fall off again. So I'm just going to show it and get it over with. So, lights out. It took me a second to figure out what this was actually showing. It shows a light bulb with tape on it, and I don't know why it's called lights out, because you can still flip the switch, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is actually a lot of fun. The Lights Out short film inspired this. I think it had the same director or producer, I can't remember. But anyway, this is a lot of fun, and it's got, who's the girl? Like Teresa Palmer. So she does a great performance in this. It also has Maria Bello. So anyway, one of the better PG-13 horror movies in my opinion. Lights Out. I enjoyed it immensely. So check it out. Daughter of Darkness. This one is kind of a slow burn, but if you stick with it, you'll be rewarded. It's good. It's a Blue Underground release. The DVD on Anchor Bay went out of print years ago, and it was commanding a pretty high price. I don't know if there's a... I think Blue Underground did release a DVD of this. I think this is a Blu-ray only edition, though, but I think there is a DVD of it available. So, Daughters of Darkness, if you like female vampires and you can handle some nudity. It doesn't have as much nudity as you'd think. You know, hints of lesbianism involved. So if that isn't your thing, if that, you know, if you can't handle that, then avoid that. But everyone else, check it out.
Party, party.
Another Shout Factory double feature.
So this one is Barbie Benton X-ray X-ray malfunction. I've actually broken my arm before. No, I'm not. I'm not even, in fact, broken an entire body in my entire life of my 7 years staying foot on this earth. So, yes.
What's the other movie?
It's...
Nope.
Schizoid. Schizoid.
Let's show it to him. Barbie Benton, X-ray, also known as Hospital...
I thought it was Schizoid.
Schizoid. Barbie Benton, also known as Hospital Massacre, when it was on VHS, MGM home video. This is, I believe, the original title, X-Ray. Even though the cover's in black and white, the movie is not in black and white. It's definitely in vivid color. And Barbie Benton, well known as a Playboy Playmate. Well, yeah, you get to see plenty of Barbie Benton. Schizoid, Klaus Kinski, Craig Wasson, Mariana Hill. You know, I like Klaus Kinski, so that was a good bonus feature to add on to X-Ray. X-Ray was the reason I got it, but I found Schizoid to be enjoyable too. So definitely another great double feature from Shout Factory, Scream Factory.
So this, I think, is a repeat. It's called Just Before Dawn again.
Well, this was the full, complete, uncut version, unlike the DVD, so I went ahead and upgraded to the Blu-ray from Code Red. They've got a brand new edition of this coming out soon. They've been advertising it on Ronin Flicks. It's still Code Red. Hopefully it'll come out soon, but anyway, I'm not going to upgrade it since for an extra double feature or two. This was a big enough upgrade for me. One of my favorite movies. Some people think it's kind of boring, but it's probably, you know, one of my favorite stuck out in the woods kind of movies and being hunted by maniacs. It's kind of, if you like a Wrong Turn, this is an early 70s version. I think this has just got some great, generally creepy moments. It is a little slower than today's movie because, you know, people's attention spans aren't as long as they used to be. But this definitely cranks up the creepy factor and the suspense, and I really enjoy this movie. It's really only got one scene that's gory that was trimmed a little bit from the DVD. But this is, it's definitely not a gore flick, even though it does have one pretty brutal kill in it. Jeff Lieberman, I believe, is the director on this. Can't remember what else he directed, but he is highly regarded. Yes? My wife blowing me kisses. What do you got?
Are you serious, Mommy? You're interrupting our video! Stop it! Stop it, or you're gonna be knocked off of this earth. Okay,
Hey, stop talking like that.
Be easy with these and don't squeeze and throw them around, okay? Don't lay on them.
So this one, boom, Demons.
Demons. Dario Argento film, also Lamberto Bava. I can't remember if Dario produced it or if he directed it. No, Dario directed it. No. Produced by Dario Argento, directed by Lamberto Bava, who is Mario Bava's son, I believe. Anyway, this is Demons. I haven't seen Demons 2. I would like to. I've heard good things. Here, I'll pass you some. So you quit knocking them off. So anyway, there's Demons. Definitely a lot of fun. It has a great soundtrack. If you like 80s hard rock, you'll enjoy the music if nothing else. So you're going to win either way.
Okay.
What we got?
So this one, Joyride 3. 3. Is there a 4th?
Yeah, I think there is. I can't remember.
And this one is roadkill unrated.
Yeah, I've got the second one. Obviously, I think I showed the DVD to you already. But yeah, this one was surprisingly good. It's pretty brutal, you know, but you know, if you like the effects and you like the scare factor, it is scary, but it's definitely gory. It's definitely mean-spirited in places. But, you know, it's a horror movie, so that's probably what you expect. So Joyride 3 is not the worst sequel I've ever seen, I'll just put it that way. It's pretty good. It's worth, you know, what I got that for less than $3 at Big Lots on Blu Ray. It was definitely worth that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So guys, yeah. This one, I don't know why I did that. Yeah. But anyways, Saturn III.
Saturn III stars Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett. Basically a robot that was programmed, and he decides to get a mind of his own. And I think, actually, if I remember correctly, there's a bad guy who reprograms him to kill, and that's not what he's supposed to be doing. This one guy just kind of takes over and goes nuts, and Farrah Fawcett and Kirk Douglas are basically running around the ship trying to hide from this robot. Could have had a little more action, but still a good movie. It's an 80s classic. I remember when I was a kid, for my birthday, I either had the choice of, I could either go see Saturn III or The Fog, and we ended up picking The Fog. And actually that was good because The Fog is one of my favorite horror movies and probably one of my favorite John Carpenter movies as well. But Saturn III is still a good good flick to watch, still fun.
And also guys, I don't know why I yawned at 3:07. And also, 3:08. Anyways, don't mind about the time. We are about horror. So, the Blood Trilogy. Color me blood red. 2,000 Maniacs. 2,000 Maniacs.
And Blood Feast. It's a trilogy. It means it has 3 movies. These are what are called the Blood Trilogy from Herschel Gordon Lewis, who is oftentimes referred to as the Godfather of gore, and this is by many people considered to be his best of all of his films, these 3 movies called the Blood Trilogy. 2,000 Maniacs is my personal favorite. Color Me Blood Red, I think, is one of the last films that Herschel Gordon Lewis did with somebody else. There were some disagreements on that, and the people that were making the movie, Herschel Gordon Lewis and one of the other guys, got to where they weren't getting along very good, so this was the last movie they made together. I'm sorry that I don't remember the details. But anyway, the Blood Trilogy, Herschel Gordon Lewis. If you have no other Herschel Gordon Lewis's in your collection, go ahead and get this. This is 3 movies, less than $10. I believe they're all on one Blu-ray. Yes, they are. But, you know, 2,000 Maniacs is a very interesting film. It's always been one that it's always just kind of stuck with me. I didn't like it the first time I saw it, but I couldn't get it out of my head, and I just ended up having to revisit it. And I probably watched it 4 or 5 times. I really actually like that movie. The other ones are fine, too. You know, a lot of people say Blood Feast is his best movie. It's a good one, too. The Birds, with the funky cover art, is what they call pop art. Got a good deal on this, and I always wanted to see Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Finally got to, and it did not disappoint. Definitely will make you think twice about birds. Which no big surprise there. Alfred Hitchcock is a master, or was a master filmmaker. So Alfred Hitchcock's name is on it. You can bet you're going to have a good time. Now, Wyatt had to take a little break. He'll be back. So if you're a Wyatt fan, please don't quit watching. He's coming back. Dog Soldiers. This is supposedly one of the best werewolf movies ever made. That's what I was told. And it took me a while to get around to seeing it. This is a Shout Factory release. You know, I didn't absolutely love it. I liked it. But I didn't love it. And I didn't like it a lot. I liked it. So maybe I missed something here. But, you know, if you like werewolf films, it's definitely worth checking out. So I don't really need to say anything more about that. Phantasm Ravager, the 5th one. Very respectable way to end this series. Angus Scrimm's last film, unfortunately. Loved Angus Scrimm, played the tall man, and he is in this movie. He's in it, however, very briefly, because he did die, but I think all of his scenes were shot, so if you expect to see lots of the tall man chasing, you know, the characters around, that's not going to happen. But it definitely does a great job of tying up the film, and probably leaves a few questions. Not everybody was satisfied with it, but I think that Don Coscarelli, really did a respectable job with this entire series, and I liked all of them. I really did, and I wanted to see this forever, and was so glad when they released it. And hey man, Phantasm, I think, is by far one of the best series of horror films. Much better than the Child Play films. More better than the Nightmare on Elm Street films, because they pretty much stay true to what they are. Yeah, they get a little goofy and a little bit too much comedy like those other series that I talked about, but not as badly as like Child's Play and Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, yeah, they're okay. But Phantasm had a lot more imagination, much creepier, great story, so I can't say enough good things about all the Phantasm films, but that was the last one, Ravager.
Okay. Let's just get on with the video. So this one has been already shown. Goodbye.
No.
It's Beyond the Door. We already showed this.
Beyond the Door. Yes, this is with the limited edition slipcover, code red. It is missing one or two things that the DVD did have. I didn't get the double disc version that was, I think, an exclusive to Best Buy. I didn't get that one, unfortunately. But Beyond the Door, I've said it many times, still one of my favorite movies. Yes, I like it more than The Exorcist. Yes, I'm probably in the minority. I'm almost definitely in the minority on that. But I love Beyond the Door. It's always been one of my favorites since I was a kid.
So, this one. It was made when you were a kid?
Yeah.
How old is it?
Beyond the Door, I believe, came out in... the original Exorcist came out in 71, and this one came out in 74, I believe. Yeah. So, it came out 3 years later.
Wow. Okay. So, this one we have actually, thankfully, not shown.
Because I don't have any other copies of that one.
Oh, really? So, this is Motel Hell.
Yep. And this is one of the original drive-in horror comedies. It definitely has a real sense of humor about it. And it's an 80s classic. I mean, it gets classic status because it's definitely well loved by many people. If you went to the drive-in in the early 80s, this was playing at least once or twice every summer. So Motel Hell, definitely check it out. And this is the original cover art. I reversed it. It has reversible cover art, but I'm not going to pull it out. Go ahead.
So this one, this one is called Michael Savage. No, Savage III. Just thought. I'm sorry, Michael Savage. That I just.
He must have been paying attention when one of us had the talk radio on when we were in the car somewhere. Savage Street's Linda Blair. It's another,
We don't even listen to Michael Savage.
Well, once in a blue moon we do. Anyway, Savage Street's another rape revenge film. What can I say? Definitely goofy. It's definitely 80s. Linnea Quigley, Linda Blair. I really like this movie a lot. And this is getting another re-release, I believe, from Code Red. This is a Code Red release. There's the disc. So, Savage Streets, if you're into that genre, Naked Vengeance, I Spit on Your Grave, by all means, might as well see Linda Blair do Savage Streets.
So this one, this is not by Linda Blair. This one
No, she's not.
This is by starring Ben Johnson, Andrew Pine, and Don Wells. And the movie they made is officially called The Town That Dreaded...
Yeah.
Oh.
The Town That Dreaded what? What they dread?
In 1946, this man killed 5 people. Today he still lurks the streets of Antarctica. Did I say that right?
I don't know. Let me see what it says. In 1946, this man killed 5 people. Today he still lurks the streets of Texarkana, Arkansas.
Texarkana.
This is based off a true story. They did a follow-up to this, which is basically a movie about the legend of this movie and how it really exposed this true crime that happened. It's pretty brutal. It's definitely creepy. It's scary. So definitely, if you're going to see the other one, and they make no distinction, the reboot was really more of a sequel. It's also called The Town That Dreaded Sundown, but as a different one. This is the one that came out in the 70s, came out in 77. So see this one first, then see the other one. I like them both. The other one was a good follow-up, but Town That Dreaded Sundown definitely has a has earned its role as a horror classic.
Guys, I really don't like the cover of this, but it's Annabelle.
Well, this is Creation, which is actually a prequel, which came out after Annabelle. This is Annabelle Creation. And this one is actually better. Quite a bit better, actually. So, I'm a big fan of the Conjuring universe, the movies by James Wan. So, I'd say this is as good as the best one. This is probably as good as The Conjuring, if not real close, as far as I'm concerned personally. Conjuring's still my favorite, but Conjuring 2 is good, but this is definitely the better of the two Annabelle films, and so since it's a prequel, you'd be okay to watch this one first and then watch the other Annabelle. Okay.
So, I'm just going to flip this over because that's really creepy.
You don't want to look at the cover? Okay.
That's too creepy, so just doing my business. Wing it? Nope.
See, real horror fan. He's scared of the cover of the box.
Okay, fine. Jump scare. How about drop jump scare? Just drop the movie on the table. No. But deadly eyes, I am holding right now.
What do you think those eyes belong to? Take a guess.
They belong to a Shih Tzu dog.
A Shih Tzu? Okay. Well, they're rats. Actually, if you look closely, there are Dachshunds with rat costumes on. But it's really fun, and I waited forever for this to come out on some sort of a disc. It never came out on DVD that I could ever find. So it went from VHS, went out of print, and boom. Years later, finally got the Blu-ray. Thanks to Shout Factory, who's willing to release some of these films that otherwise wouldn't get released. Unfortunately, like I said, they tend to be a little pricey sometimes, but they always look good. They sound good. They aren't usually overflowing with bonus features for what they charge. I think they should be, but, you know, personal opinion. Here's a couple more.
Yeah.
This is a trilogy of creature features.
It's a giant mosquito.
That's right. We go from rats to mosquitoes. Leather-faced Gunnar Hansen is in this. He's not the main star. Well, he's probably the only person whose name is really known, but he's not. He doesn't get the most screen time, but he is in it, and his role is great. It's unforgettable, and he pays homage to his Leatherface character in this role, and it's done in a comical way, and basically just bugs getting splattered over giant mosquitoes. Definitely worth checking out. Great creature feature from Synapse.
So guys, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's either Cujo or Cure, but whatever.
Cujo.
Cujo.
Dog gets rabies, traps a mom and her son in a car in the middle of summer. She's taking her car there to get it repaired, or is she picking it up? I think she's taking it there and it breaks down. So they can't drive away, so they're trapped in the car. Definitely a great Stephen King novel. A great movie. Dee Wallace, of course, plays the mom. Definitely, there's been other editions of this released. I don't know which one's the best. This is the olive release. It really doesn't have any bonus features, unfortunately. Anyway, there's the disc. So another great Stephen King adaptation. What else can I say about it, really? Go ahead.
So, guys,
don't pull on that, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What even is that for?
I'll explain it later.
Okay. Guys, if you guys have ever been in prison, this movie will refresh you. Prison.
Another movie that went out of print on VHS. Finally got a disc release. Never had a DVD release. And Viggo Mortensen, I think, is the actor who stars in this. Yes. And Kane Hodder plays like the main monster at the end of the movie. So Kane Hodder, as you know, plays Jason. So Prison, this is definitely a lot of fun. I really wished an unrated version of this had been released because I saw some good stills in Fangoria when I had a magazine subscription to it as a teenager, or maybe even in my young 20s I had it. But anyway, I'm not done yet. But anyway, like I said, I wish there was an unrated version, but still, it's a great movie. You should check out Prison. Go ahead.
So guys, this one is also kind of creepy. It's Deep Red. Yep,
and I already showed the DVD of this. This is one of my all-time favorites. This is definitely in my top 3, maybe even my top 2. It's up there. Well, it's not number 1, but it's high. My favorite Dario Argento film. Most people argue which one's the better film, this one or Suspiria. I like Suspiria, but this one, just genuinely creepy. Always loved this film. Will always love this film. This is the uncut version. The international portion makes the movie about, well, the American cut I think was about 1 hour and 40 minutes, and this one's like just right at or a little over 2 hours. So it loses about 20-30 minutes in the American version. There are some parts that were never dubbed into English, so they have English subtitles while they speak in Italian. And those actually add a little comic relief to the film, but it's done respectfully and it doesn't detract from the film. It's obvious that the film is a scary film. It's a Giallo. They're not trying to turn it into a comedy. It's not Freddy running around saying one-liners like a comedian or Chucky doing the same thing. It's not that kind of film. This came out in the 70s. Fantastic movie. Definitely has that brutal violence that Dario Argento is known for, but done very stylistically, shot beautifully. Scenes are well set up and everything. It's just a really great film. I can't say enough good things about that one.
So this one, sinking into the ocean, really deep, and you'll think it is a endless descent.
Endless Descent. Yep, and the reason that you see the Endless Descent on there is because I decided to flip the... It's also known as the Rift, but when I saw it on VHS, it was known as Endless Descent. Another one went right from VHS, didn't get a DVD release, boom, here it is on Blu-ray. And as you see, the Blu-ray says the Rift, and I can't show you the cover art. Well, I can take the disc out and show it to you, I guess. You can see through it fairly easily if I get the disc out without hurting the disc. See if you can see it through the blue. Anyway, the Rift. But I actually like this artwork better. Always did. Endless Descent.
What can't you show?
This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite sci-fi horror flicks. I love underwater horror flicks. What can I show? What?
What can't you show?
Oh, I actually on this one actually covered up the part that I can't show. This is a film that's basically an allegory for divorce. Isabella Johnny, Sam Neill, as you know from the original trilogy of Jurassic Park. This is a limited edition, kind of hard to get. You pretty much have to get it right from the company that makes it. It's a really, really good film. It's definitely weird. It's crazy. It's got special effects, I believe, from the same special effect guy. And to pull it out, you have to pull the string to get the box out. Otherwise, it's just stuck in there. So they almost gave this the Arrow video treatment. So let's see what I can show you here. Well, there's a little bit of artistic nudity, which I think that even though it's art and it's a painting, I think that they may still have a problem with it if I show it on YouTube. So I'm just not going to show you any more of it. But Possession is definitely one of the whacked out, craziest, weirdest films that I've ever seen, and definitely one that you should check out, and it's worth hunting down the Blu-ray if you can find it. I believe I got mine from Amazon. There's a link to the company that put this out. They don't put out a lot of films, but I sure am glad they put this one out. So definitely check out Possession. And I'm trying to remember what the company is that put this out. I can't read it. My eyes aren't good enough to tell you what the company is.
Well, I'll read it.
Here, what's that say? What company is that? Or
this is
what's it say there?
Mondo
Vision? Mondo Vision. That's who. Thank you, son. His eyes are way better than mine.
Yeah.
Alright, so there we go.
I can look at you guys right in the eye. I'm actually looking at myself right in the eye because the camera is actually sensing me right now. But anyways, yeah. Hide and go, shriek. I spotted a snake. Is that a snake?
The tattoo, yeah. Snake.
Okay. Tattoo of a snake coming out of the woman. Is it out the woman's pants? So.
Well, we don't know if that's a man or a woman's leg, but apparently you got some sort of a snake tattoo on their foot. Somebody hiding under something here, and that is a scene that's in the film. It's a Code Red release, definitely one that I missed on VHS days, but thanks to Code Red, it got a Blu-ray release, and actually rather enjoyed this one. So, Hide and Go Shriek from Code Red.
So this one is another double feature.
Scream Factory double feature at that. Scream Factory.
Okay, fine. Ghost House and Witchery.
Yep. Witchery is Linda Blair, David Hasselhoff. Yes, David Hasselhoff. And Ghost House. Ghost House is creepy. Witchery is a fun. This one is, I actually like this double feature quite a bit. So, another more goodness from Scream Factory. Shout Factory label.
Now this one, a Devil Dog.
Devil Dog Hand of
Devil Dog.
Devil Dog.
Dog.
Devil Dog Hound of Hell. This was a TV movie. Stars Richard Crenna, who is an actor who I like very much, and also has Kim Richards, you might know from Escape from Witch Mountain and Tough Turf, and she was in the original Wilderness Family Adventures, I think. But anyway, this is a good, respectable TV film. I enjoyed it, so it's worth a look. And now they didn't put many. Shriek Show didn't put out many Blu-rays, but this is a Shriek Show release. I think it's out of print, but it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Apparently, people aren't just clamoring for that one, but it's pretty good. I would recommend it. Go ahead.
So why I'm doing this is because all of a sudden the sketch and outro song started playing in my head. But anyways, let's get back on Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours. Another double feature.
From who? Again, it's on the front.
Scream Factory.
Scream Factory, Shout Factory label. Yep. And this has got Michael Ironside, Visiting Hours. It's great. And then Bad Dreams has the actress from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. Probably one of the better of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels. I can't remember her name, but I really liked her. Jennifer Rubin, that's her name. So both of these films I enjoy a lot. Visiting Hours is one of those that's highly underrated. I actually saw it at the theater when I was younger, so I enjoyed it immensely. So I was happy to get my VHS replaced by that Blu-ray. And I think that's the first time that particular film had been released on any kind of a disc. Maybe Bad Dreams too. They might have been VHS only. What you got?
So this one is a 4-disc.
Yeah, each movie's in it's on its own disc, so that's good.
So yeah, so this one is Let Me In.
Let Me In, based off of Let the Right One In, which
the Crazies.
Yep.
Apollo 18, as well as, what does that say?
Pandorium, I believe.
Pandorium.
Or no, Pandorum. And yep, Apollo 18. Let Me In. Let Me In, I absolutely love this film. Chloe Grace Moretz, I always love her performances. You know, she was in the Carrie reboot. And then, of course, The Equalizer. You know, she's done a lot of films I really like. The Crazies. I believe this is a remake of the George Romero original. Apollo 18 is a great sci-fi horror movie where they discover that, hey, there is life up there. And it's not friendly. And then Pandorum. So I haven't seen Pandorum yet. That's the one that I still have to get to. And I haven't watched The Crazies yet either. So, again, more stuff for me to watch, but I can definitely vouch for these two movies right here. Definitely enjoy those immensely, and they would be worth just to pick up the 4-pack. Because I get that for a really reasonable price.
And guys, another Exorcist 3.
Exorcist.
And it's by Scream Factory.
Yep. And guess what? We've talked about this because I showed the Blu-ray. This is probably my favorite horror movie of all time. I love Exorcist 3. George C. Scott, Brad Dourif, that's the new artwork. The original artwork. And this actually has 2 discs in it. It's got a theatrical cut and, for the first time anywhere, a theatrical cut, which I love. That was pretty cool. I do prefer, surprisingly, the theatrical cut more than the director's cut, but anyway, there is the original artwork as you saw on the DVD. So you get them both. So flip it around to which one you like and be happy to have this in your collection, because like I said, it's probably my favorite horror movie of all time. Anytime somebody asks me what my favorite horror movie of all time, I always say this one. So I don't think there are any that I like as much as this one. But boy, some come awfully close. Dang near tie it, but I love this movie very much.
So, boom, 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 boom. If I can reach it.
I'll help you so you don't lay on the disc. There you go.
Wait. That one's upside down. Okay, so here we're ready to go. 99 Woman.
99 Women. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of those women behind bars movies. And it's got the notorious French version, 3-disc limited edition. I think the 3rd disc is a soundtrack. Definitely lots of nudity. And the French version is pornographic, so by all means not for anyone under 18. And truth be told, it's nice to have the notorious, you know, pornographic French version, which it's obvious that the people in those scenes aren't the same people who are the actors. The actors, of course, wouldn't do that. But I actually like the one that doesn't have all that in it more. It's actually a better film. It flows better. So I would just go with the unrated director's cut, and ignore the French version just unless you just love pornography. So, also there's some animal violence in this that I wasn't crazy about. But overall, for Women Behind Bars movie, I think it's pretty good. I'll just leave it at that. And that's a Blue Underground release. Good.
So, just exactly like it, but it's called Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And this has got the fancy cover on it that I think Walmart, might have been a Walmart exclusive. But anyway, it's PG-13, but it's goofy and it's kind of creepy. And if clowns scare you, if you like scary clowns, well, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. If you like It, maybe do a double feature. Watch It and watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Why not? It's a pretty fun movie, though. I enjoyed it. And this is from MGM. So.
And actually, one of the people in 2nd grade was from Africa, and he probably saw pyramids. And this one is called The Pyramid. Just a normal pyramid.
Yeah, this is one that surprised me. This is was kind of a budget Blu-ray, but it sounded intriguing from the description. I believe this is a 20th Century Fox release, and this was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed this film a lot. It's a found footage film, so if you don't like found footage with the camera being a little shaky, you're not going to like this. But if you like found footage films, this one's better than most of them, as far as I'm concerned. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, I got exactly what I expected out of it, so I would recommend The Pyramid.
And also, this part of my mouth is shaking right now for some reason when I just absolutely stand still.
Okay. Yeah.
Just start doing it. So, anyways, the dead next door, and it is falling out.
It's a Tempe video release. Tempe, of course, just shut their doors after many years, and this is considered by many to, and from what I could tell, this is probably their best film, best made. It's definitely 80s cheesy zombie fun. Definitely has some interesting effects in it. Acting's a little ridiculous all over the place, but you know, it is what it is, and I enjoyed it. And so, if you want a copy of this, I have a feeling this one's going to become scarce soon. So go ahead and get it while you can.
So boom. Wait, did I just grab?
There you go.
Alright, so
Another creature feature.
4 movies. Willard.
Boy and his rat. The rat isn't named Willard. The boy is named Willard. And this is Bruce Davison plays Willard. It's also got Sandra Locke, who you may know from the Clint Eastwood movies. You know, they were a couple at one point. And this is a PG film, and it's just basically this rat just loves this kid and does whatever he wants him to. And it's a very strange film. It's definitely got 70s all over it, and it's definitely a classic. And the sequel is called Ben, which I've never seen, which Michael Jackson had a hit song from called Ben when he was younger. So Willard, and if you want Ben, I believe Shout Factory's put it out as well. And Shout Factory put out Willard. Willard is a great film. They did a remake. Can't say anything about the remake. Haven't seen it. But from I understand, most people that saw both still prefer the original. So, anybody feels differently, let us know.
So, this one, we showed Evil Dead. What's Evil Dead 2?
Yep, I've actually got this one on Blu-ray. I don't have Evil Dead on Blu-ray, but I do have Evil Dead 2 on Blu-ray. This one is more Three Stooges style comedy with horror elements added. I prefer the original Evil Dead by quite a bit, but this is still a fun film, an awful lot of fun. As a matter of fact, this is probably most people's favorite out of the trilogy, from based on the feedback that I've seen from people. So, and it basically retells the story of the first movie and then picks up where it left off. And it probably summarizes that up in about 5-10 minutes, and then it moves on, and then it's just zany, crazy fun. So, Evil Dead 2, definitely a great film. Bruce Campbell gives a great performance. I mean, for me, I say I don't like it as much. Evil Dead to me is a 10. Evil Dead 2 is maybe, you know, an 8, 8.5 for me. You know, and then that was followed up by this one that Wyatt's going to show you next, and this is a Shout Factory.
Which is
Army of
Darkness.
That's right.
And its description is trapped in time, surrounded by evil, low on gas.
Yep.
Which, speaking of low on gas, Daddy,
yes,
before we got home from church from the gym, we had to get gas.
After we got done at the gym, after I got done at the gym. So anyway, Army of Darkness, of course. This has been released many different ways. This has like 3 different versions of the film. It's I think it's 3 discs. It's Shout Factory. It's huge. This is one that is one of their pricier movies, but this one actually delivers the goods big time. So this is definitely what I would consider the ultimate collection. So if you like Evil Dead 2 and like the follow-up Army of Darkness, Army of Darkness is fun. I like it. I'd probably put it on par with Evil Dead 2. It's right there. It's probably about an 8, 8.5, or a 9 for me. It's somewhere in there. It's, you know, it's, I don't like it as much as Evil Dead, but I like it a lot.
So guys, this is Psychic Killer, which there's a lot of colors in the cover art. So
yeah, the cover art I like quite a bit. That's pretty cool. It also has the original cover art. I think that's recommissioned artwork. Here's the original cover. See?
Oh my.
See, so that, here, be careful here. Here, I got this. Hold on, don't grab that yet. So anyway, there's the original cover art, Psychic Killer. Now, I do want to say a couple things about this real quick. One, it's a Vinegar Syndrome release, so of course it's fantastic. It's got a Blu Ray in the case, and it's got a DVD. So, you know, if you don't have one format or the other, well, you can still watch the movie, so that's pretty cool. Combo packs are pretty cool. I like them for people that don't have one format or the other. And the DVD has the old artwork, and the Blu-ray has the new artwork. This movie is actually one of the most brutal PG movies ever made. The fact that this would never get a PG nowadays, it probably wouldn't even get a PG-13. I'd say it'd be a rated R movie all day long. Vinegar Syndrome, you can tell by the girl on the spine again. Definitely I would recommend that. This is one that's going to surprise you. So, by all means, check out Psychic Killer. It's definitely a good time to be had.
And this one, you children, the children.
The children. When children do awful things. If you like scary children, this is as good as any scary children movie I've ever seen. It's one of the Ghost House Underground, part of that collection, Lionsgate release. Fairly inexpensive film. Worth the dough. It's a good film. I enjoyed it.
So, this one is called Beyond, another death metal song is called Beyond the Unholy Grave, and this is The Unholy.
The Unholy, this is a great film. This was released on Vestron Video years ago, so this is the Vestron Collector Series. These movies tend to be a little expensive in this series. This is one of the less expensive, but also one of my favorite films of this series. So I got a pretty good deal on this, went ahead and picked it up. It's a Lionsgate release. So The Unholy, this is one that a lot of people missed, and it should definitely not be missed. It is actually, I'd give this one a solid 8.5 or 9 out of 10. It's a great film. Maybe a little slow in a spot or here and there, but it's one of those slow burns. It's building suspense like movies used to do, which is, I do like that a lot.
And when I am a visitor in these videos, sorry, something's in my eye, and, well, this is a creepy visitor. It's called The Visitor.
The Visitor, this is I think it's a subsidiary of Olive Films, Draft House release. And this is the, what has it got in it? Just a Blu-ray and a digital copy. Wow, I never used the digital copy. I don't do digital copies. But anyway, The Visitor, this movie's crazy. It's all over the place. A lot of people don't like it. I probably like it more than most. It's got famous actors. It's got Shelley Winters. It's got, you know, oh gosh, here go my eyes again. John Huston is actually in this. Lance Henriksen. But it's like they tried to take every genre they could and shove it into a movie. And this actually has some generally creepy moments, and some of it's quite imaginative. Some of it's a little redundant, but this film is crazy. I don't know. I just really like it a lot, and I probably like it more than most. But The Visitor, check it out. Get it if you can.
This one.
Another creature feature.
And gross things, but this is creepy. Pigs.
Yep. Pigs. Love pigs. And it took forever for this to get a decent release, and Vinegar Syndrome, of course, again, saves the day. Did a great job with this. And it's got Mark Lawrence directs and funded this and stars in it, and his daughter is in it too. And it's got, you know, like 3 different endings for the film are included. And it's got reversible cover art, and, you know, it's got a DVD and a Blu-ray. So, again, either way, whichever format you like, you're covered. Vinegar Syndrome, again, fantastic job as always. Next.
So this one, if you are a little kid, you probably go in shallow water, this is the shallows.
This is pretty brutal shark movie, especially for PG-13. Stars Blake Lively, and I actually enjoy this film immensely. So this one was surprising. You know, every time you think, well, no one's ever even going to come close to Jaws. Well, I'm not saying that this is as good as Jaws, even though some people think Jaws is boring. Y'all might like this one more. The Shallows is fantastic. Don't let the rating fool you, and the fact that it's a newer major studio movie, it's not an independent film. It definitely does what it's supposed to do. It's entertaining. It's actually a little gory. It's suspenseful. You know, a girl trapped out on a rock while a shark, you know, doesn't want to let her swim back to shore. Keeps waiting for her to come out in the water so he can eat her. So The Shallows was one of the great surprises. I really enjoyed it.
And this is pretty much a copy of Jurassic Park. It's Jurassic Dead.
Well, it's definitely pays homage to it because it says, they say nature always finds a way. Here they say evil always finds a way. This is what I understand to be a Blu Ray exclusive at Walmart. I haven't seen this at Walmart for a while, so chances are if you find this, you're only going to find the DVD. But this is a Blu Ray DVD combo pack. It says the only thing worse than a zombie is a zombie-saurus. Well, now if you think there's going to be a bunch of living dead dinosaurs running around eating people, you're going to be mistaken. There's one, and it's a Tyrannosaurus, and these military people are trapped down here with it, and they're trying to kill it and stop it. And the dinosaur is actually a guy in a suit, but it's really well done, and they green screen a lot of stuff. So for a Wild Eye movie, hey, it's ridiculous. It's really low budget. But did I enjoy it? Was I entertained? Was it fun? Yes, absolutely it was. So Jurassic Dead. Find it if you can on Blu-ray. If not, grab you a DVD.
And
this is a Blu-ray.
oh.
These are all Blu-rays.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. This is the Mutilator, just an arm. I would assume that's a person.
Yep.
Swiping it at these 4 people when they're hanged up by their shirts. And
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, and this is a movie that I waited forever for somebody to release this on any disc. And then Arrow came through and did a fantastic job of releasing this film. And this is, I don't know what it is about this film, but I absolutely love it. How much do I love it? I'd probably easily put it in my top 20, if not my top 10. I just have such a fondness for this film. There's the original cover art that appeared on the, whoops, well there, it was there. Original cover art that appeared on the VHS box for the Mutilator. This does include a Blu-ray copy, a DVD copy, and 2 separate discs. Loaded with bonus features, a great booklet talking about the making of the film and all the trouble they went through to find a great copy that they could restore. It looks fantastic. It's never sounded better. And gosh, it took way too long. And if you haven't seen The Mutilator, I absolutely love this film. Great performances. I love the guy that plays, oh, what's his name? Ralph. The guy that plays Ralph does a fantastic job. Matt Mittler does a good job in the title lead, and I'm trying to remember, Ruth Martinez, I believe, plays the female lead in it. But everybody in this does a great job. It's got Francis Raines, also, you may know from Breeders. I love The Mutilator, so by all means, if you haven't seen this, see this movie and see the uncut version, not the R-rated version. It's brutal, but it definitely leaves a lasting impression, so see the unrated version. Buy that Blu-ray. It's definitely worth it. Fantastic. We got 3 left. We're about done, guys.
Yeah, I know.
For now, for this video.
Well, yeah. We're just getting started, though, on this channel. So, this is Winchester.
Winchester. This is one that was released PG-13, inspired by true events at the most haunted house in history. Apparently, it's the Winchester mansion. A lot of people didn't like this, thought it was boring, didn't really think it was scary enough. I thought it was a great story. I thought, you know, it took some great liberties with the history that it was basing itself off of. But I absolutely really had a great time with this movie. My wife enjoyed it, who doesn't like horror movies that much. But this was a good one. And I don't, you know, I know I'm probably going against the grain with what a lot of people would say, but I really enjoyed Winchester. And it even has Helen Mirren, who, you know, people, you know, really respect as an actor, and she does a great job in it. So she
And
obviously cared enough about the project to give a great performance, and it's worth seeing.
the last two movies. Manhattan, maybe?
Manhattan Baby. This is the limited 3-disc version, Lucio Fulci. Now, I'm going to be honest. I didn't love this film, but I did like it. It's not one of Fulci's best. I thought Cat in the Brain was a lot better. I like House by the Cemetery. Gates of Hell, also known as City of the Living Dead. And of course, I like House by the Cemetery. I think I already said that one. What's the other one? Oh yeah, New York Ripper. I like all those movies more than this one. But if you're a Fulci fan, you should check it out. It's weird. It's a little different. I won't tell you that that it's fantastic, but it's good. It's Fulci, and it's ridiculous, and there's parts that don't make sense and will have you scratching your head. And I believe this also has I think the 3rd disc is a CD. Yeah, it's a soundtrack. So almost always it seems like when there's a 3-disc limited edition, the 3rd disc is a soundtrack. And I love Italian horror music, so the music definitely is great. It's as good as the music in any of his other films as far as I'm concerned. So Manhattan Baby, Lucio Fulci. So
And guys,
check it out.
The last one. The Fly. Not a house fly, a creepy fly.
Remake of the Vincent Price classic. Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. This is considered by many to be the far superior version of the film, but it's Vincent Price. How can it be better than Vincent Price? But that's what I always hear, is that people say that this is the definitive version of this movie. So I haven't seen the original Vincent Price version. I have seen some Vincent Price movies. I have tons of respect for Vincent Price. He is an absolute legend. But this is a great David Cronenberg movie, and if you like David Cronenberg, Videodrome, Scanners, definitely The Fly is a lot of fun. That is the newly commissioned artwork. I believe, again, that was a Walmart exclusive. It's the Pop Art edition, and it's got a little coloring book inside. And let me see. No, does it have the original artwork? Yeah, it does. There. There's the other artwork. So, anyway, kind of generic looking. So this other one's like a lot wilder. So, anyway, that is the last Blu-ray for this video.
So, guys, thank you so much for the people who stayed till the very end of this video.
Yeah, that was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I think this video has been like an hour, so we are going to end it off here. But otherwise, thank you for watching another Hunger for Horror video. And
we know you have lots of choices with other things to do with your time. We really appreciate you. And watching me and my son spend some father-son time together and talk about all these movies and letting him look at the artwork. And he really enjoys doing the videos with me, and I enjoy having him. And I hope you enjoy both of us. We love you, and hope you all...
But that's all for today,
Yep.
and we are going to end the video off here.
We love you. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And we will see you next time on Hunger for Horror. Bye. Ha ha ha.